Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We came from group 9, the community, as member is first, Eriana Putri Ulimas, second, Teguh Kiranto, third, Ardi Setiawan. I am presenting my resume on the literature review. The first matter I will submit is the literature review. Okay, what is the role of related literature in quantitative research? First, we have to remember that quantitative research are your get not to rush headlong into conducting their study. The search for related literature should be complete before the actual conduct of the study begins in order to provide a context and background that support the conduct of the study. Thus, this literature review states several important foundations. These are: first, a knowledge of related research enables investigators to define the frontiers of their field. Second, a thorough review of related theory and research enables researchers to place their question in perspective. Third, reviewing related literature helps researchers to limit their research question and to clarify and define the concepts of the study. Fourth, through studying related research, investigators learn which methodologies have proven useful and which seems least promising. Fifth, also, through related research avoids unintentional replication of previous studies. Sixth, the study of related literature places researchers in a better position to interpret the significance of their own result. One more thing, consider that quantitative research is built on a study of early work in the field, which help the researcher refine his or her problem and place in context. For qualitative research, the approach is very different. They are advised not to read in their area of interest because it is important that they approach their study without any personified ideas that might influence their work. Next, what is the role of related literature in qualitative and mixed method research? According to Bernie G. Glaser, a pioneer in the grounded theory school within qualitative research, the approach they use starts from collecting data, then starting analyzing it and generating theory. When the theory seems sufficiently grounded and developed, then reviewing the literature in the field and relating the theory to it through interrogation of ideas. He then added that it is vital to read, but in a substantive field different from this research. This maximizes the avoidance of repeating profound concepts. The role of related is to determine how research conclusions fit into the existing theory in the field after formulating theories to explain what has been observed. Other fields of qualitative research may include a brief review of related literature at the beginning of a study to identify the theory that inspired in research or to justify the need for it. Furthermore, the role of literature review in mixed method research. The literature review might take a more dynamic and flexible form. It might be exploratory in the beginning stage of the study, explanatory at the end of the study, or it might take on both characteristics in interactive fashion as new research questions arise. Efficient location of related literature. In the past, researchers used manual attempts to find the desired or suitable related review by going to library and manually search through the periodicals index to locate relevant article. However, manual searching of this kind is time-consuming and inefficient. Currently, most universities and colleges and many public and private libraries subscribe to indexing and abstracting periodicals that incorporated into several datasets that can be searched by computer. Computer can search for many topics simultaneously and combine them using logical concept known as Boolean logic from the logic system developed by the 19th century English mathematic George Boole. The essence of Boolean logic lies in the use of three terms, and, or, and not, which are used to tell the computer how the investigators want is to deal with the various contrasts relevant to the study. And selective operation, or, is for exclusive operation, not is for exclusive operation. Here is simply picture to explain the concept of Boolean logic with only two contrasts. The circle on the left shows the use of AND, which includes both contrasts A and contrast B. The circle in the center shows the use of OR, which includes all the documents with either contrast A or contrast B. The circle on the right includes documents with contrast A but not contrast B. For example, a search of the ERIC Education and Research Information Center database using the bottom option or checking answer or answer checking and multiple choice test plus a request for article science 2014 advice article dealing with the effect of changing answer in multiple choice tests. In every study, more changes were from wrong to right, as had been the case in all the previous studies. Indexing and abstracting database. What's ERIC? Index abstract principles are vital for locating primary search in your field. This publication subscribes to professional journal in a given discipline. Their staff then identifies the key terms for each article, index them, and typically provides an abstract for each article. Database that combine several of these indexing and abstracting priorities are very useful because you can ask for your key terms on interest and the database will identify the journal article by journal data, volume, number, and page that include your key terms. ERIC Educational Research Information Center. There are several reasons for beginning ERIC database. First, ERIC indexes and abstract primary source or than any other database. It covers more than 1,800 journals and more than 1 million other documents. It includes useful primary source that were never published. In fact, ERIC was established in 196 to seek to collect, store, index, and abstract unpublished or fugitive information. Third, it can be accessed for free from your home or office terminal www.erit.gov. The U.S. Department of Education contracts with a private contractor to maintain the ERIC system and provide its service free to the public. Okay, last. The ERIC system formally products hard copy or print products of ed material in research in education and e.g. document in current index to journals in education. Today it exists only in electronic form. Subscription to ERIC are now evaluated on four criteria to determine what is included and what is not. 1. Relevance what the submission to education. 2. Quality of the submission or completeness, integrity, objectivity, substantive, merit, and utility or importance. 3. Supported by professional society, organization, and government agents for editorial and peer review criteria. Using the ERIC system, as general rule, the following steps are components of a successful ERIC search. First, determine the keyword description under which article relevant to your study might to be listed. These keywords will typically include the population and the variable you have identified in your problem statement. Second, since the ERIC system only reorganizes descriptions from its own searcher, you will need to find which of your keywords are used as description. You might need to find synonyms for some of the keywords you have listed. Third, using ERIC description and Boolean logic, perform the search and copy or save the answer reference given for any title that might be useful. This process does the simplest the task of finding the original article. Fourth, read the abstract first. If the abstract leads you to believe the entire document will be of interest, you can download the entire document if it has an ed prefix. If it is e.g. article, first try to download the full text to a different database. If that files, go to your library and seek out the article. Fifth, search out article in their journal at your own institution or through interlibrary loan, or ask a librarian about the possibility of obtaining the article online either through your library or through other commercial search. A search of the ERIC system is an important step. The quest for related literature, but the researchers cannot assume that when this step is finished, the complete material relevant to your question might not have been included in the ERIC INSEAD. Most other database charge for their service. Fortunately, more universities, colleges, and many libraries subscribe to at least some databases and make them available to their silent and, in most cases, to anyone who wants to use library's terminal on site. Check with your library to determine what database you can access through its service. This often changes as library budgets and want. Other education-focused periodical indexes. There are many other periodical indexes in the field of educational that are useful for locating up-to-date information on research as well as contemporary opinion. One of the standard index in the field is Education Index. This index lists articles in 48 periodical yearbooks, bulletins, proceedings, and monographic series. ERIC does not index 92 of these. 47A Produce Education Index is the best source for locating journal articles published prior to establishment of ERIC. A depth tag of the education that it does not include abstract. H. W. Wilson, the publisher, Education Abstract Full Text. This database provides abstract of article in Education Index as well as the full text of article from the 150 journals considered to be the most important in the field. H. W. Wilson select database with over 600 records includes index and abstract for many different professional fields include social science index and humanity index is also includes index to popular. The material that follows will explained by Teguh Kiranto. Time and place. Thank you.
Thank you for the time, Erin. Hello, my name is Teguh Kiranto. I will explain the next material of Group 9 presentation. The next material is Other Education focused on Periodical Index. Exceptioning Child Education Resource is a quarterly publication that contains abstract of resource in a special and given education. It uses the same thesaurus, indexing, and abstraction rules that ERIC does, and there is considerable overlap with resource indexed by ERIC and ACR. Exceptional Child Education Resource (ACR) is a quarterly publication that contains abstract of resources in special gift education. The Physical Education Index provides a comprehensive database in all aspects of physical education. Child Development Abstract and Bibliography, published since 1927, provide an author and subject approach to the areas of infancy, clinical medicine, and public health, and the counseling and the developmental, comprehensive, and experimental psychology. There are specialist indexes for every discipline, including business, education, industrial art, and medicine. Some are available electronically and some in print format. Many are available through both. The availability of either format depends on the library and its user need. The quality of the electronic version in index, cost, and other factors. Other useful database. Only ERIC is more useful to educators than PsychoInfo. PsychoInfo is a database with nearly 2 million records covering 2,000 journals in addition to book and book chapters. The material covered in this database is related to psychology, education, business, economic, linguistic, social work, healthcare, and many other fields. Alright, the next material is Citation Index. Citation Index identifies as which authors have been cited during the year in all areas of social science, including education, and what has been written in various areas. It also includes the necessary bibliographic information for both city and citing author. This information is made available by way of four index. The first is source index is an alphabetical list of all authors published in journal covered by SSCI during the year. The second is the citation index presents an alphabetic list of the first author of all works cited in the article included in the source index, followed by year, journal, volume, and first page for each of that author's city articles. For each article, the citation index lists the name of other author who cited that article, like journal, volume, first page, and years of article in which the citation occurred. The third is the permuterm subject index takes every significant word and pair it with every other significant word in each title. You can find bibliographic information for each author in the source index. The fourth is bound with the permuterm subject index. The corporate address index is an alphabetical listing of organizations with which authors publishing during the years are affiliated. Under its corporate entry is a list author with complete bibliographic information. The next there is book in print. Book in print, as you would expect, book in print index those books that are currently in print both by author and by title. It enables you not only to read what books are and are not in print, but also which books have new edition and which have added or dropped author or changed publisher. Brief reviews are frequently included. And there is we have test in print and mental measuring yearbook. Test in print produced by the Bureau Institute at University of Nebraska does the same of commercially available tests. Tests in print and MMY are both in hard copy and electronic form. A useful strategy is to first determine if your chosen test is a test review online, which is continually updated, then seek the detail in the mental measuring yearbook hard copy at your library. Alright, the next is statistical source. For educational statistics, the federal government followed by state and local government account for the greatest number of statistical documents. Statistics, an alphabetic guide to source of information on more than 20,000 subjects, with 10,000 citations from more than 2,000 sources, print and no print, in print and out of print, and domestic and international. It is a subject guide to data on your various topics, including the education. Government publication. The federal government, a major source of education information, sponsor more research, conduct more surveys, and collect more statistics of all kinds than any other organization in the United States. The U.S. Department of Education disseminates a vast number of publications, including research reports, surveys, administrative action, and program description. You can locate publications of State Department of Education and other state agencies through the homepage of its State Department of Education. As is true of nearly all indexes useful to scholars, most government indexes are now available on the internet or on the CD-ROM. This is the last material that I can explain. Aggregated databases. There are large databases that combine single topic databases. They are convenient to use and often provide access to databases to which your library website do not subscribe. The first is Professional Development Collection. Designed for professional educators, these databases provide a specialist collection of more than 500 important education journals. It also includes more than 200 educational reports. The second is Academic Search Premier. Academic Search Premier is the world's largest academic multidisciplinary database. Provide full text article of more than 4,000 per review scholarly publication and index more than 9,000 per review scholarly publication. This database covers academic areas such as social science education, the humanities, language and linguistics, computer science, art and literature, and engineering. The next is Web of Knowledge. This database has included the Science and Social Science Citation Index. It also includes many other useful index and abstracting database. Alright, the next is JSTOR. Since 1995, it has been building a high-quality interdisciplinary archive of scholarship in the humanity, social science, and science. More than 100 academic journals and other material are included in continuously expanding collection, all of which are full-text searchable. Google Scholar, available at www.scholar.google.com as of November 2004. Google Scholar is an online search engine that targets scholarly material, such as a peer-reviewed publication, book chapter, and conference proceeding across many disciplines. With this database, you can identify relevant material throughout the world of scholarly research. The last one is WordCat, the world's largest bibliographic database. WordCat is invaluable to researchers in nearly any field. This online database indexes more than 35 million books, journals, music score, video recording, film, newspaper, maps, dissertation, manuscript, and more in 4,000 languages. Alright, until here the material that I can explain. The next material will be explained by Aruti. Thank you for attention. Aruti, time and place is for you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aris Setiawan and thank you for the occasion. I will continue my group presentation, and in this video I will explain about the necessity of mastering online database searching. It's essential to learn how to do online searching for several reasons. And the reason number one is many important indexing and abstracting periodical no longer exist in hard copy. For example, ERIC no longer in prints resources in education and current index to journal in education. And reason number two is in a manual search you must examine numerous periodical index for particular topics, follow the topics through the index, and find a few relevant entries that combine your select term with another interest. Number three, computer searching save time because it's only second the computer can retrieve and print information, eliminating hours or even days for manual search. Online databases are frequently updated weekly or bi-weekly, and thus are usually more up to date than printed index. With computer searching, you can narrow your search and by specifying parameters such as date and type the language of publication date, or descending or ascending order, alphabetically by author or by title. And the next is the internet. The vast majority of college and university students have experience using internet. Since the internet has been available to customers, the growth in internet use and in the variety of use, both legitimate and suspect, has been unpredicted as reviewed in this chapter. There are wide range of internet sources for scholarly literature and test source, as well as multitude of other types information. Because there is no real publication cycle for internet material, there are no editor, fact checker, or proofreader, and there is no accurate way for the reader to determine the authority of the author. As there is traditional publishing, a huge amount of information exists on the internet, some erroneous, outdated, slant, and even harmful. It is often more difficult to determine the worth of website than that of a print source because many personal sites look as professional and authoritative as governmental or educational site. Site ending in .edu or .gov are education or government sites, which tend to have more credibility than sites ending in .com, .org, or .net. Many librarian organizations provide lists of subject-specific websites for researchers. And the next is evaluating internet source, because the internet is means by which a great deal of information varying quality can be presented the worthy and suspect side by side. It is important that researcher has criteria by which to judge the internet source. Determining the quality of given print journal article has traditionally focused on the following criteria. Uh, One is reputation of journal. Two, stringency of its editorial policies. Three, reporting of primary research as opposed to further articles and synthesizing or summarizing bodies of research for lay audience. 4. Use of peer review. 5. Reputation of its review. 6. Journal affiliation of with distinguished learned societies. 7. The presence of absence or of advertising. 8. Audience for which the journal is intended squarely versus the lay audience. Authority for information found on the web. What is the site extension, web addresses, and in suffix x such as .edu or .com. This suffix x gives the researcher an idea of who is hosting the website as follow. .com is for commercial site. .edu is a college or university. .gov is the for the example is US government, and .us is usually a state government, community college, or school district site. .org is an organization, and .net is community network or internet service provider. Although you can be assured of the quality of information on any kind of site, educational and governmental sites usually contain authoritative information, and information provided by companies may be sent to sell to their products. In fact, it may be difficult to distinguish between advertisement and source of objective information. Is the research part of edit publication has been selected by reviewer or editor. Our factual statement is supported with bibliographies and notes or links to the resources. Are the source site with complete bibliography information include the date, timeless. It is clear when the information was originally published. For web-based information, is there a list when the page was last updated? If there are links given to outside web pages, are the links still active, or are they linking to sites that have moved or changed the address? uh, online journal. Journals are not available in print but only available on internet. I mean, not only in print, but are it's available too in the internet. In education, the Primary Research Association is the American Educational Research Association, or EARA. Within EARA, subground address particular interest in educational research. These are called division and special interest group. 6. One such SIG is the Communication of Research SIG. This SIG maintains a website listing many of the online journals in the field education. The SIG and the listing of journal are available at era/gresu.edu/index.html. Through the website, the content of nearly 200 e-journal can be accessed. The next is organizing the related literature. A useful approach to arrange the study by topic and determine how this topic relate to your own study. Present the literature in such way as to justify carrying out your study by showing what is known and what remains to be investigated in the topic of concern. If your study includes several phases or investigates more than a single hypothesis, the organization process is done separately for educational hypothesis. It is almost inevitable that number of report you have carefully studied and include in your notes will, on reflection, prove only very rarely relate to the topic. It is neither necessary nor desirable to include in a professional every study encountered in the source through the literature. I'll continue. Your university department or research advisor may offer help session or mini course, and the library at most intuition can be helpful suggestion. This is begin reading the most recent studies in field and then work backward through earlier volumes. On the other hand, meaningful groundwork for study entails including all important work in field. Make sure the literature serves but does not dominate your own work. Number 2 is read the abstract or summary section of a report first to determine whether it is relevant to the question. Number 3, before taking notes, skim the report quickly to find those sections that are related to the question. Another way to save reading time. Number 4, make notes on file card in a word processing program or in some format that can be accessed easily or moved around to cluster with other nodes on related reserves. Number 5, write out a separate complete bibliographic reference for each work. For the sake of recording, uh, sorry, of record keeping, include the reference in bibliography list and with the individual note card with the note on the source. Number 6 is to facilitate facilitate sorting on organizing. Do not put more than one reference on each page, entry, or card. It is not possible to arrange reference alphabetically in uh, on or in any other way unless they are recorded singly. Number 7 is be sure to indicate which part of notes are directly quotation from the author and which are your own paraphrase. Uh, and the last is if you search online database, keep the search strategy or often called search history on file. This information will help in the retrieval of information and reduce cost and time in case an update need. I think that's all from the group 9 presentation. I'm sorry for the mistake and it might be wrong word. Thank you for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.